Welcome to the GTP. My name is Scott and my goals help you find great experiences for yourself and your family. And I'm really excited for this manga haul for the month of June because I was able to not only get some new to me titles, some titles from back pre-orders, but also some very hard to find out of print books. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to go through is ongoing series that I own or titles I was missing that I'm currently collecting from Viz Media. Let's go ahead and get started. The first manga I picked up is Black Clover Volume 29. And if you haven't read Black Clover yet, I highly recommend it. Stick through it at least through the first 7 volumes. It took me a while longer to get into it, but it's on just an incredible arc right now. I believe it goes up to volume 34, this current arc, but it's the best arc yet. It's a really interesting story. It has medieval fantasy, you have magic, demons, just an incredible series I've thoroughly enjoyed. Probably one of the better shonen mangas that are currently available. So that's Black Clover. The next volume I picked up for the month of June is Komi Can't Communicate Volume 19. This is probably one of the most cozy series I've ever read, and I thoroughly enjoy the series. And this is one of the first books I immediately read when I got this haul from the month of June. If you click the eye on the right hand corner, you actually can see my last review video of Komi Can't Communicate. It's one I highly recommend checking out if you haven't already. Next I pick up was Call the Night Volume 8. And if you haven't heard of this series, it's incredibly popular right now. It's now getting an anime adaptation. It's about a boy with a Samina who ends up meeting a girl who's also a vampire, and you get to see that relationship unfold. Now I'm just missing volume 6, so as soon as I get that volume in, I read it's supposed to be reprinted later on for the month of July. So as soon as I get that volume, this is a series I'm looking forward to starting right away. Next I picked up is Chainsaw Man Volume 11, and I actually now have all the volumes for part 1 of this series, so this is now complete. If you click the eye on the right hand corner, you actually can see my review of another series that's part of what's called the Holy Trinity, and that's Hell's Paradise. Next up on the Unholy Trinity is Chainsaw Man, followed by Jujutsu Kaisen. So I'm looking forward to reading this and sharing you kind of my part 2 of what I think of the Unholy Trinity series overall as a whole, each of them, as well as how do they weight individually, how do they stack up compared to each other. So look forward to that in a future video. Next I picked up was a volume I've been waiting a while to finally be released, and that's Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 16. And the reason why I was waiting so long is I actually stopped reading Jujutsu Kaisen as I kind of got a little bored with the series during Volume 9 and 10. But I heard the Shibuya arc, which ends on Volume 16 here, is supposed to be one of the better and best arcs all in just shonen stories. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out and seeing, does it stack up compared to other arcs in shonen type of series? And if so, I'm actually going to continue reading the series. If I think it's okay, it actually might be a series I'll drop. And in this situation, I feel it's, you know how they say it's not you, it's me. I really feel if there is a breakup between Jujutsu Kaisen and I, it's really me, it's not the series, as I know so many of my friends absolutely adore and love the series. Next I picked up was Sakamoto Days Volume 2. This is a new series that's come out recently. I read the first volume last month. It's about this store clerk who used to be an assassin and now he's retired, and you're seeing the shenanigans as kind of his old life keeps trying to creep up a little bit behind him. He's overweight now, has a family, and you're just seeing this kind of overweight supermarket clerk who's still inside a deadly assassin, and you get to see a bunch of shenanigans behind the scenes. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's action-packed, so I'm excited to continue reading that series. I highly recommend checking out if you haven't already. There's only 2 volumes as of right now, and the 3rd volume I believe comes out in 2 months, so check out Sakamoto Days if you haven't already. Next up is a series I've watched the anime twice, and I felt it was a little wrong that I actually have a lot of manga, but I didn't have this classic series. So as soon as I saw how nice this edition is, I knew I had to pick it up. It's only 6 volumes for this edition, and that is Death Note the Black Edition, and this is volume 3. Now I already had volumes 1 and 2 and 4, so now having the 3rd on the way, I only have 2 more I need to grab. And I'm looking forward to seeing how close is the anime adaptation to the actual manga itself. It's a thrilling story. I'm sure you've heard it, you've seen it. If not, highly recommend stop what you're doing. You may want to go ahead and watch the anime right away. Okay, up next is Alice in Borderland Volume 2. And if you haven't heard already, the rumor is that the hit series from Netflix, Squid Game, a lot of it was actually inspired from Alice in Borderland manga. So when I heard that, and now that they're releasing this series, is one I was excited to pick up, as I really enjoyed the Netflix series Squid Game. So if you haven't checked it out, if you like Squid Game, if you're interested in that sort of storytelling, sort of that death match and trying to survive, winner takes it all, I would highly recommend checking out Alice in Borderland. Next up, I'm excited to share with you a series that I actually ordered the entire series last December at the Right Stuff Anime's winter sale, and that is JoJo Bizarre Adventure, and this is part 3, volume 5. It was the last volume that I was waiting to collect for the series. I just finished part 1 for the first time. I'm actually writing the review as we speak. It was a lot better than I expected, and after reading part 1, I'm actually looking forward to starting part 2, and I feel good enough knowing that I have this volume now to continue reading that series. So I think it's going to be a fun video series, taking a look back at JoJo Bizarre Adventure. One thing that I appreciate is I've never read the mangas before, I've never seen the animes, so this is kind of a blind review for me going into the series, and it's been kind of fun being able to peek behind the curtain and just have no knowing about it beforehand. So that was really cool to be able to get this last volume and to start the series. So that's all the titles I got from ongoing series that I've been collecting from Viz Media. Let's go ahead and check out what I got from Yen Press. And the first thing I got from them was a series that has been slowly coming back in print, and that was Bongo Stray Dogs, and this is volume 19. And I got the newest volume that just came out, volume 21. Now this is a series I'm still waiting for 2 more volumes to come in print, and once the 2 volumes come back in print, it's a series I'm looking forward and I'm gonna want to start right away. I actually ordered the series, I believe last May, so I've been slowly collecting the series. It's slowly coming back in print. I know Yen Press especially has had some hard distribution issues, so I'm looking forward to hopefully within the next couple months those last 2 volumes will be reprinted and I can start this series. Next up from Yen Press, I got Horimiya Volume 15. I think I'm saying it right. I apologize if it's wrong. Sometimes I want to say Horimiya, but I think it's Horimiya, and that might be wrong too. But this is Volume 15. There's 16 volumes in the series. I'm not sure when it's going to be announced or when that 16th volume will come out. And I'm actually now just missing Volume 5, and I'll have the series up to date complete. The series was completed a while ago in Japan, and again, I'm not sure what's taking too long in that final volume for the United States. But it's a series that I've been wanting to read for a while, and just because I don't have that darn Volume 5, I want to wait till I have that, and then I really enjoy reading the series all at once instead of just waiting a little bit. So that was all of Yen Press that I got for the month of June. Let's go ahead and check out some KODANSHA titles that I picked up. First I picked up was Wotakoi Volume 6. Now this is a series that seems to be now gaining a lot of traction, a lot of popularity. Barnes & Nobles, Books A Million, and a couple other places ended up having exclusive front covers for it that I know people are trying to collect. I guess I just got the boring cover, but it's a series. I read the first volume. I thought it was very wholesome. It's about a guy and a girl that start a relationship together, and they're both very, very otaku nerds, loving anime, loving video games, and you're just seeing as they try to discover life together, whether or not they want to stay a couple, and what does that mean, also both being very nerdy, both introverts, both homebodies. So it's a fun series. It was really funny the first volume. I have the other volumes, so now because I have it complete, it's one of the first series I want to do a review soon, especially since it's now complete and it's fully out in the US. Next I got was That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Volume 19. Now this is a series, I ended up watching the anime first and I fell in love with the series. I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons, so I felt it was only right to pick up the manga. Luckily, Right Stuf Anime had all the volumes available, and because of that, I feel really good that I can start this series because I have no other excuse. I have all the volumes. I don't know what's taking me so long to pick it up and see how true is it to the anime. I just have a lot of other things I'm reading, but still no excuse. So that's That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Next I got was Witch Hat Atelier, Volume 9. This series I'm actually reading now for the first time. I just read Volume 1 last night. I'm reading Volume 2 right now. It's a very cute, charming series about a girl named Coco who has this desire to become a witch, and you follow her travels as she becomes an apprentice and learns what that's all about, as well as trying to save a family member that's now in trouble. It's beautiful artwork. The volumes feel really good just to hold in your hand. It has that nice matte glossy feel to it. Beautiful pages. It's a good story so far. So this will actually be one of my future reviews that'll be coming probably next month, as I have a couple other ones I'm churning out right now. So this one you'll probably see in another month, just my thoughts on it. But so far, reading the first volume and a half, absolutely enjoy this charming series. So those were all the titles I picked up from KODANSHA. The next title I picked up is actually from a small company called ABALZE, and I don't know too many other titles they have, but this one I highly recommend checking out, and that is The Breaker Volume 3. If you were to ask Scott, when you got your huge manga shipment, what did you read first? Well, it was The Breaker. I have enjoyed the series. It's about this kid who ends up, he's kind of a pushover, he's bullied, and then a teacher feels sorry for him. And then he slowly learns this new style, this new way of kind of like a kung fu that has some powers to it. And you get to peel behind the curtain as you see him just grow up sort of like an adult Karate Kid, but with a syndicate and mafia involved. And it's just really fascinating. It's really good. I've enjoyed it so far. So this was the first thing I read. There's now going to be 2 more volumes that are going to be coming out. Hopefully they'll finish by the end of this year, and I'm hoping, just hoping, that ABALZE will continue and they'll actually be able to publish the sequel to the series. So those are all the volumes I picked up of ongoing series for the month of June. So next, let's check out some new to me series from Viz Media. And the first is Ran of the Grey World. And this series has 7 volumes, and I was actually surprised to see all of them were actually currently in stock at Right Stuf Anime. Now, I read all the comments that you guys send me. I respond to each one of them, and one person just was particularly a little bothered that I wasn't only seems to pick up series that are recommended to me. And that's just partly how I am. Even when I go to a restaurant, I'll actually pull up with Yelp and I'll see what do others recommend when to know what to buy. But this series I actually read on my own, and when I read the series and I saw just how beautiful the artwork, I decided to pick this one up. I don't know too much on the series. I don't know anyone else who has this in their collections. I haven't seen it from other manga halls, but this is me taking a gamble on my own. This is no one saying, hey Scott, you should check out this series. So we'll see how good I am at trying to figure this out on my own. But the artwork just looks so detailed and beautiful. There's only 7 volumes, and because it's all in stock, I said, why not take a chance? We'll see if that bites me and I go back to only taking your recommendations, which I do when making purchases. So I was excited to go ahead and pick this up. Next I picked up was Black Lagoon, and I was only able to find a couple volumes as a lot of them are currently out of stock. But I was able to grab some, and that's okay to start. Now for this series, it has to deal with some mercenaries. It's very action-packed. I heard the anime is okay, so I've avoided it. But I was looking at a retailer and he was sharing, hey, what is the most searched manga that people are looking for? and this was high on the list of titles that people wanting to purchase. So because of that, I was like, why not check it out? So hopefully the other volumes, I did see they're supposed to be reprinted in the next couple months. So it's another series I'm enjoying to checking out. I like the action. The manga has a very high rating on my anime list, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. I picked up one title from Yen Press that's new to me, and that is Akame ga Kill, and I was able to get all the volumes except for 2 were not in stock. And I got a notification from Right Stuff Anime that one of the volumes are now in stock. I think it's volume 5. So hopefully that means the last volume I need will be reprinted soon. Now I heard this story is almost kind of like a Game of Thrones sort of story where no one is safe. You never know who's gonna live, who's gonna die. Heard also hopefully minus all the sex and nudity, but we'll see when we start the series. But I'm looking forward to reading the series. I like the idea of not knowing who's making it, who's not, is you fall in love with different characters and you're like, oh no, they didn't make it. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. It's about a boy who ends up going to the city to try to raise money for his village, and while doing so, discovers that the government is corrupt. No shocker there. And then he ends up getting entailed with these assassins, and then together they go on this mission or quest together to hopefully free everyone from the corrupt government. So it's a series that hopefully, again, I'll get the last volumes I need, man. I love the thicker volumes. I always feel good money's worth when you get a volume that's a little more thicker, and I feel a little sadder. I feel like my money's taken from me when it's a really skinny volume, as kind of like Inmates in the Shadow. So this one, and then the last one I have for you is this volume here. I picked up one new to me series from KODANSHA, and it's actually a brand new series that just came out, and that is Blue Lock. Now I already read the first volume. It's an amazing soccer story. If it didn't have a couple curse words here and there, it's something I'd probably even recommend for kids. It almost feels like a Squid Game sort of style story minus the death, but everyone is trying to compete each other to be the best soccer player as they lock in all these talented soccer players in one facility together, and they kind of duke it out and battle out to see who's going to come up on top. It's really fascinating. I finished the one volume in one sitting. It's really good. I'm looking for the series. I'm so happy that KODANSHA decided to get the series out of digital jail and start releasing it physically. I wish they would do that for more series. KODANSHA, you have GTO in jail right now. Wouldn't it be nice if you let that one out? There's other series that people have been wanting. So I'm so grateful at KODANSHA. They listened to their fans. They decided to print this physically. The first volume was tremendous, and I'm looking forward to continuing Blue Lock. Next up, I picked up one new to me series from 7 Seas, and unfortunately, volumes 1 and 3 were out of stock, but that is Skip and Loafer, and here's volume 2 and volume 4. Now, I was looking for slice of life recommendations, sharing, hey, I like Watakoi, I like Home Can't Communicate, what do you recommend? And this is one that a few people said, hey, you gotta check out. And because it's a new series, I believe the 5th volume is coming out later this next month. So I figured, why not with 5 volumes, give it a try. So I'm looking forward to reading that and seeing if it has similar vibes to some of the other slice of life and romantic comedy stories that I really enjoy. Let's go ahead and now talk about out of print series that I picked up. I'm really excited to share this first one with you. I had a rule, and if you hear that keyword, I had a rule, which is not to pick up series that are out of print. Now I broke that rule twice, and I figured, oh no, what if I get those complete and I want to do it again? So I ended up breaking the rule a 3rd time, and because I broke that rule 3 times, it's not really right to keep it a rule. So we're removing that rule of picking up out of print series. I'm now looking at series to see how hard of out of print is it before I determine whether or not I'm going to pick up that series. Now that first series I'm excited to share with you, I now have complete, and that is Rurouni Kenshin the Viz editions, and I got volume 7 and the highly sought after, extremely difficult volume to pick up, volume 9. Now it's kind of funny, this series I ended up watching another YouTuber's video where he was showing his whole collection, and then during that collection he showed a table and he's like, all these are for sale. And I was like, oh, for sale? And I was like, wait a minute, that's Rurouni Kenshin Volume 7. That's Volume 9. So I ended up messaging him on Discord. He was super kind and generous, gave me a really good deal, and he ended up shipping me these volumes. Ended up packing them really well, really good bubble wrap, even sent me a bookmark from his channel. So I was just, thought that was so kind of him, willing to sell it to another manga channel. That was so kind, so generous. And I'm really excited I now have this complete. And before this, I was actually looking on my cart and I saw Volume 9 go for over $260. I'm like, oh no, am I ever going to be able to complete this series? I saw another one go on Amazon for my half price books for $100. I was like, oh, I can't spend $100 for one manga. So the other YouTuber gave me a super good deal, very fair, and I'm very happy to now own the complete Viz Big Editions of Rurouni Kenshin. You heard it said, I broke that rule actually a third time of not buying out of print series. In this series I picked up, now there are new volumes being releasing. The last 3 volumes are in print. The rest of the series, extremely hard to find. In fact, Volume 6 and 7, if you're watching, you don't like the series, if you have Volume 6 and 7, feel free to message me. I'd love to talk about a price. And that is a certain scientific railgun. And I was excited to actually find some of the volumes, someone is selling them on eBay. So I got 5 volumes for $6 each. I figured that was a great deal. So that's Volume 1. Here's Volume 2. Volume 3. And then a couple other ones I found on Amazon at the used section. These were for around $8 each. Of Volume 8. Volume 9. 10, 11, and 12. This is a series that's piqued my curiosity for a while, but because of that rule that was holding me down, I was like, I'm not going to try to collect that series. But after seeing, hey, some of these volumes are not too hard to find, except for Volume 6 and 7, but if you're out there, let me know. So I'm looking forward to collecting the series. This is one I've been wanting to read for a while. I'm now wavering whether or not I should try to check out a certain magical index, which is from Yen Press. A lot of the volumes are in stock, some of them are not at all. So if Yen Press announces, hey, we're going to reprint some of the older ones, I may try to collect that one too. As I heard, there is some synergy between the 2 stories. So that's all the manga I picked up for the month of June. In the comments below, would you mind sharing with me what is some titles that you end up picking up for the month of June, or titles that you're looking forward to picking up in the near future? And if you'd like to see more content like this, and you've not done so already, would you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel? That helps others know about the small community that we are building together. I am grateful for you. I respect you, and I just want to say thank you so much if you have ever liked a video, shared it with a friend, or if you're a subscriber, or if you've ever commented below. It means the world to me. I'm so grateful that we get to build this small learning manga community together. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.